How to cure alcohol addiction? I want to ask about alcohol addiction. If I read its ideology and aspire to be better, and then particular states come when nothing can help it, I betray everyone. And when I come out of these states, I again become as creative as I can. But all that could have been spoiled is spoiled. How is it possible to resist it? What can be done to ensure that next time when the urge of alcoholic intoxication comes, I do not succumb to it? How is it possible to resist it? What motivations are needed? Good question.
Просто на него так вот сходу не ответишь. Я думаю, что чем более глубоким будет становиться
I think that the more profound the knowledge becomes,
более глубоким будет становиться понимание
the deeper will become the understanding that any refocusing into a state that excludes the presence of intellect and altruism
состояние, которое исключает наличие интеллекта и альтруизма, выборов интеллектуально-альтруистичных, удаляет вас
takes you further away from the goal which you aspire to,
от той цели, от той реализации высококачественной идеи, к которой вы стремитесь. И если
if your interest is weaker than the one that is based on some buzz,
интереса, который базируется на каком-то кайфе, на каком-то состоянии забытия,
on some state of oblivion or non-thinking,
недумания или
or shut off from the problems,
тех проблем,
from some heavy states or difficult tasks,
тяжелых каких-то или состояний или труднорешаемых задач,
or from unsolvable problems,
ведь обычно
and then you will not be able to resist. After all, alcohol usually represents a way to have a break.
передышки, как бы человек устает от
A person gets tired of some stress or from something else
и позволяет себе, допустим,
and allows himself to enter such a state of not thinking,
недумание, вернее, думание о чем-то
or rather,
другом,
thinking about something else,
думание о том, что не
about something that doesn't represent any difficulties.
трудность, не представляет сложность. Вот. Но, к сожалению, так наш организм устроен.
But unfortunately, our body is designed in such a way that an addiction is being developed,
Решение сложных задач, вот такой уход,
and the withdrawal from complex tasks through alcoholism is not a solution.
не является выходом. В любом случае эти задачи нужно.
In any case, these problems will need to be addressed later.
Я могу понять людей, когда
But I really can understand people in such situations,
длительное какое-то эмоциональное напряжение.
when some long-term emotional stress, some mental, some internal, tears him apart,
И или безвыходная ситуация создается. И в этой безвыходной
or some unsolvable situation exists. And in this desperate situation, no solution can come to mind.
человек просто раздирается между то принять или то. Если
Such a person is simply torn apart to do one thing or another. If you were to do this, then the result is one, and if you were to do that, the result is the other. The first one is wrong, and the second one is wrong. Or something is right, but for the sake of yourself, or something is right, but for the sake of someone else.
тебя миновала какая-то
Someone will have to suffer from any of these choices, and what to do so not to hurt anyone, so that this trouble will go away. But there is no way. You cannot sleep. You don't do anything because thoughts are overcrowded. And of course, the easiest way out is not to drink much.
как это, если не напиться, вернее, сразу человек, может быть, и не хочет напиться.
Initially, such a person doesn't want to get drunk. He says to himself,
Напряжение
I'm only going to take the pressure off a bit, that's all. The pressure doesn't go away. Well, I'll add a little bit more and a little bit more,
когда определенные участки,
and then certain parts of the brain, certain neural interrelations, are brought to a halt, all brakes are lost.
то возвратить ситуацию в нормальное
And to
русло.
bring the situation back to normal is impossible.
Поэтому, если, то есть, я понимаю таких людей, и
I understand such people, and any of you can understand them.
другой вопрос, хочет или не хочет.
The question is whether you want to or don't want to.
Я думаю, что если интерес вашего
I think that if your self-development interest is high enough,
достаточно высоким для того, чтобы находить нужные выходы из ситуации, нужные принимать
you can find the right way out from such a situation. To take the necessary decisions, and such mental stresses will occur less and less.
а следовательно и потребность в том, чтобы
Then the need to get away from these situations will decrease.
уйти из таких ситуаций будет все меньше и меньше догонять вас по жизни. Думаю, что человек,
I think that a person who studies this ideology, not the one who studies, but the one who already has a deep understanding, is to a lesser degree inclined to such situations and decisions.
склонен к таким решениям в сторону алкогольных каких-то состояний, алкогольного опьянения, только потому, что он понимает, что это
Only because he understands that this will not bring any positivism.
никакого позитивизма, никакой гармоничности,
It will bring no harmony to his future, but only introduces some protoformic directions,
только уводит в какие-то протоформные направления, откуда,
from which it may not be possible to get out of,
или если выйти, то
or it will be quite difficult and time-consuming to exit them.
Есть еще состояние инглимелисное.
There are also states of inglimillis realizations, when the mind doesn't allow some part of a particular levels of former creators to be realized.
Творцов этих уровней. Если вы идете осознанно,
If you do it consciously, then, in principle,
вы должны понимать, что
you should understand that
делаю это для того,
I'm doing this to realize myself in this direction.
реализоваться вот в этом направлении. И после того,
And after, when this state is gone, when the realization has occurred, then there is no need for another dose of alcohol.
потребности в очередной дозе алкоголя нет. Потребность наступает только тогда, когда
Need only occurs in such cases when you understand
вы осознаете, что реализовать себя
that it's not possible to realize yourself in this direction without the turning off of the mind.
отключить ум просто так, вы тоже.
And you cannot turn off the mind just like that.
А раз ум очень активен, то и
And because the mind is very active, sensual realizations become impossible.
возможно. Здесь очень тонкая грань.
There is a fine line that is very easy to cross.
Поэтому чем
Therefore, the deeper you will convey through its ideology,
принципы вот вашего существования, которые я пытаюсь передать через идеологию, тем
the more qualitative decisions you will be able to find in such situations. Thank you. The question is not unequivocal, and to give a clear answer, and for me to say just do not drink and that's it, is not impossible. It's not for me to teach you. Everything in life happens, but it's important to know the limit. None of us are sinless. Everyone has some lack of experience, but it's important to stop on time. For example, to drink 1 glass of wine instead of 5. In order to relax and feel normal, and not to lose your human form. Or to drink a beer instead of wine if you really have a need for it. But this is only my personal opinion. This is not the opinion of an anesthesiologist. An anesthesiologist would have explained that this is necessary to understand that this choice is not a qualitative one. Therefore, you need to direct your attention to something else. But I understand that with such a lack of experience, in some aspects, it may not be possible. It is simply impossible. Yes, and to experience what is missing is only possible in such states where the mind doesn't participate.